It's time to break down the biggest stories of the day. This is the top 3 stories of the day on KSLSports.com. 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Time for the top 3 stories of the day at KSLSports.com. It's brought to you by J. Brooks Jewelers. Cherish your love with J. Brooks Jewelers. Explore their expertly crafted engagement rings made from the finest materials. J. Brooks Jewelers. All right, Christian, where do you want to start today?
Number 1, the Jazz lose to Atlanta yesterday. There was some controversy on the Snap Talk about Lauri Markkanen not being in for the final shot.
Well, he wasn't in for the final 16 minutes of the game. I don't get angry watching basketball games, hardly ever. It just doesn't bother me. It's our job. Last night was such a painful game to watch. It's one of the more painful games of the last 3 years for me, watching these basketball teams. First of all, I cannot believe how horrendous the Eastern Conference is. The Jazz literally set out to lose that game. They went to lose that game. They are trying to lose games. They're tanking. We know they're tanking. They didn't play Lauri for the last 16 minutes of a close game. They started playing Oscar Tshiebwe. Like, that's the sign. They are waving the white flag. Take the ball. Win the game. We are giving you this game. And Atlanta just could not get out of its own way. And yeah, they have Jalen Johnson, and he has a 15-point, 15-rebound, 15-assist triple-double, and he's an all-star, yada, yada, yada. And I get they just made a flurry of trades as well at the deadline, and so that's going to be part of it. But the Jazz are trying to lose this game and can't get out of their own way to lose it. And Atlanta desperately needs this game to make the playoffs and can't get in front of themselves to win. And then on top of it, you're just reminded of how silly tanking is, because the Jazz have a apparently reasonable rotation player in Jock Landale who they give away, right? He's a part of this trade with Chicago and with Cleveland and with Atlanta, technically 2 separate transactions, but the Jazz have to get rid of Jock Landale to take Lonzo Ball back, to take the draft picks. But they don't really want Jock Landale because he's going to help you win games. All right, I get that's what the last 3 years have been about. And then Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who played for the Jazz for a little bit, and they didn't really understand how to use him. Quinn Snyder blew it, and then the Jazz weren't interested in winning when he was here with Will Hardy, so they threw him into the Mike Conley trade, and it was a sign of the tanking beginning. And it was just a reminder of how annoying every storyline has been for the Jazz for 3 straight years when it comes to tanking. And that now, even as they finally move out of this chapter and they go and get Jaren Jackson Jr. and they're going to start trying to win games next year, you're just reminded of just like how obnoxious all of this is for the last 3 seasons, 4 seasons by the end of this year, and almost 3 years to the date when they started making these trades, of just like how ridiculous all of this is. And that it's finally over has made it feel even more insufferable to me.
It's funny you're reminded about that. I feel like we've been, or at least I have been, squawking about this every day for 3 years. I don't care about Jock Landale. He's not good.
Yeah, okay, he's just a player. He's just a backup center.
It doesn't matter. I find it funny people were upset Lauri didn't play. What are you talking about? I mean, Lauri's missed entire games for no reason for 3 years now.
Yeah.
He's missed the entire months for no reason for 3 years now. So you're trying to dump a random game in Atlanta, and he doesn't play in the fourth quarter. We've talked about this. This has happened a bunch where the other team is so crappy. And yes, the Hawks are terrible. And it's amazing that Quinn Snyder still has a job because they're dreadful.
And they're going to get bailed out because they're going to get a high pick from New Orleans. But yes, not because of anything they're doing on the floor.
But Will Hardy's got to be over there looking at Quinn Snyder. I can't call him Quinn. Saying, what are you doing? Win the dang game. What are you doing? Win the basketball.
Please take this.
And by the way, I'm not going to stand here for your Oscar Tshiebwe slander because he is better than Slow-Mo.
That's fine.
They haven't been playing him instead of Slow-Mo because Slow-Mo was helping you lose. I think Tshiebwe, I like Tshiebwe. He plays with a ton of energy.
Absolutely not an NBA player.
A bunch of size. I don't know. He's still better than Slow-Mo.
I don't think that's true, but that's fine.
At the center position, he certainly is still better.
I don't think that's true either, but that's fine.
Slow-Mo. But I don't know. The Jazz had to work hard to dump a game in Atlanta. They had to work hard to win 17 games last year.
Right. And
that's people I know wasn't Locke doing backflips on his podcast or whatever because the
tank's over.
It's not.
Not yet.
It's not.
This is
over.
about to be, and I've said this.
It's going to get worse before it gets better. And I know people are excited about next year, and that's great. And I'm sure the people that are selling Jazz season tickets over across the street are having a great week.
Yeah.
And I get why people are enthused about it or whatever, but that's still 6 months away. More? 7 months? 6
September,
months?
yeah.
September?
October, technically.
And they still have to, if they're going to hit their mark of winning 20, whatever you put
I think you can win 6 more games.
Like
22 wins.
Yeah, if you love Oscar Tshiebwe, you're going to see him more. You're not going to see Lauri Markkanen more.
No.
I'm surprised he even dressed for the game, honestly.
I don't know if you're going to see him in Salt Lake anymore. You don't have to play. Well, here's the thing. So here's the player participation rule that you do have to abide by if you're the Jazz to avoid fines. Your star players, which now are Jaren Jackson Jr. and Lauri Markkanen, can't both sit the same game and can't sit road games. So you can rest Lauri Markkanen at home the rest of the season if you want to. You don't have to play him at all because your home crowd gets a chance to see him otherwise. So you don't have to play him at all, and you won't face any fines from the NBA. But I do think you have to play either Lauri or Jaren Jackson Jr. at home in these games the rest of the season, I believe, and you can't rest them on the road just to rest them. So how do you negotiate that is going to be the shenanigans that we see from the Jazz the rest of the season.
And that's easy.
Yeah, you'll find a way. Everyone's hurt.
This rule is so dumb, and it is so a cat in the wall that doesn't fix anything.
Right.
Because all you have to do is fake an injury. That's it.
Yep.
Cat in the wall, eh?
Or dress him and don't play him.
The same reason Atlanta's not going to play Trae Young. The same reason that Washington's not going to play Trae Young. Washington's not going to play Anthony Davis either. They'll find a couple of games to play them in, but not a lot. That's what the Jazz are going to do as well.
Jaren Jackson Jr. just came down with a sprained ankle.
Yeah.
Just now.
Has had something nagging all season that he's going to address now.
Yeah, that rule is so silly. It doesn't make any sense to me. Again, the Dallas got fined for it just because Jason Kidd admitted it. Yeah. And I still don't know why they fined the Jazz for it. It's selective prosecution, in my opinion. I'd be a little bent about it if I were the Jazz, but I mean, that rule is meaningless.
Yeah, it's meaningless. And the Jazz, again, they're going to win 6 games. They've got 30 left, I think, on the season, so they'll go 6-24 the rest of the way. I think that's going to be the goal. It's going to take some work to do it, but the other teams around them will also win some games and relieve some of that pressure.
What's next?
But Jazz are expected to have Jaren Jackson Jr., Vince Williams, and John Conchar tomorrow in Orlando.
Number 2, the trade deadline came and went. Any other big takeaways?
I don't know how many teams actually got better. I do think Indiana going and trading for Ivica Zubac is a good trade. He's a really good player. He's just a very good center. And the Clippers pulling the plug on their season despite the fact that they were 17-5 in their last 21 games is strange, though the conspiracy theory is that the NBA is about to come down on them for Kawhi Leonard and his tree planting fiasco.
I wonder if that has anything to do with it. I think it's just a clutch thing. I think they wanted James Harden extended, and so they swapped clutch guys, and it works for the Clippers. The Clippers thing is weird. The Indiana, with Zubac just came down with a sprained ankle.
Yeah, he's not going to play either.
He's not going to play either. I mean, in the short term, basically nothing happened other than teams ducking tax bills, which is what the trade deadline is going to become all about.
That is really what it was about.
As we go forward, I saw people. What was the label everybody was throwing on it? The pre-free agency or something? Pre-agency.
Yeah.
I think there's some of that. I think it really proved how dumb NBA franchises are, if anything, because the James Harden deal is dumb for especially for Cleveland, which is who they were trying to get better. It's totally dumb. Anthony Davis, that trade is dumb.
Yep.
The Trae Young trade was dumb before that. And then all these other, tax ducking moves are all because they overpaid someone at some point, and they have to, with some teams, I would guess, move off players that they don't really want to move off of because they're going to cost them 4 times what they're making in their tax bill, depending on which franchise they are.
100%.
So, I mean, it is kind of funny what the trade deadline has become.
Get back under the tax.
Let's recover from dumb decisions.
With that in mind, I do think the Jazz acquired the best player that moved at the trade deadline.
I would agree. Did you see that yesterday? The Warriors were trying to get him until they shut down conversation because they thought they had Giannis.
We talked about why were the Jazz eager to pull this trigger on Tuesday as opposed to waiting to make it official later. And there was some thought of when you have a good thing, you just say yes and you don't let them back out. Maybe that's what it was. They realized, hey, if Giannis doesn't move, there's going to be a suddenly, escalated market for Jaren Jackson Jr., and maybe somebody out of nowhere is going to be willing to throw in, better picks than what the Jazz put in. And Golden State would be the team. So maybe the Jazz just said, this is the deal, get it done. You pick your players, and we'll say yes. And so the Jazz moved Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yeah, bingo.
Yeah. Right, that's good work. If that's the guy you think you need, and you think he's going to help you get out of your rebuild, good move.
All right, what's next?
Number 3, the Winter Olympic opening ceremonies are today.
About an hour, 11:40 on NBC. You could be able to watch those. We'll obviously have all the coverage at KSLSports.com.
The time difference is going to make this unique, as often Olympic Games are, depending on what part of the world that they're in. We were joking about with Maddie about our coverage at KSLSports.com and how people are going to be on the early morning shifts.
Yeah.
By the way, we're going to have all the latest for you, KSLSports.com for sure. We've got people covering it literally 24 hours a day. But do you like it? Do you like, because I've always kind of liked randomly having sports that are during the day and not necessarily prime time, although I know they re-rack the major stuff for prime time, right, which makes total sense. But especially, this started for me when I was producing morning radio, and I used to love when the French Open was on.
Yeah.
It's like, I've got live good stuff right here in the morning.
Yeah, wake up and it's on.
Or at your lunch break or whatever. Maybe you're cruising on over to, I don't know, JCW's or something that's going to have TVs up, and you're like, oh, yeah, sweet. I get to watch the Olympics on my lunch break. I love that stuff.
I'm with you. Shout out to our digital producers at KSLSports.com who are working shifts beginning at 2 a.m. because that's when a lot of the primetime stuff is happening in Italy. But yeah, I loved it when they were in France and there were things going on all day long. And NBC benefits by being able to say, yeah, we'll just schedule this out. So all weekend and really all day, there's something to watch. So yes, I'm excited for that aspect.
And then mash up the best parts and put it in primetime.
Yep. Yeah. Re-rack whatever you have to.
Give Bob some drops and go for it.
Eye drops?
Yeah.
There you go.
Clear that up.
Yeah.
Or I guess
if
Mike,
you can.
Do you think Mike Tirico just wears goggles around for like the month before the Olympic Games?
So he doesn't get sabotaged?
I think he has to do the Super Bowl this weekend, but
Busy.
But
What a
yeah,
week. What a month.
I'd be wearing goggles the whole time.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't risk a pink eye outbreak. That nearly ruined Bob's career.
We're assuming that we're going to see Clayton Keller walking with the Olympic team, right?
Why wouldn't he?
Why wouldn't
Yeah,
he?
why wouldn't he? I'm excited to see that. I mean, they played 48 hours ago. To turn around and then have to be in Italy is tough, but that'll be very cool.
Do
What
you
a
think
moment
he'll
for him.
get any television time?
They'll show the hockey team. Hockey team's supposed to be good this year, and the fact that the NHL players are playing is a huge deal.
I know, but the American team always has like hundreds of people on it. You can't pick anybody out.
Sure.
They focus on the famous people, and then everybody else gets drowned out.
LeBron being on the front of the boat.
Whereas like the Jamaican Winter Olympic team, there's like 3 guys.
Yeah, Lindsey Vonn will be at the front of everything this year.
Don't make Lindsay walk.
Yeah, we'll put her on a scooter or whatever. Or,
She was skiing this morning.
yeah,
Did
she was
you
skiing
see?
this morning. She
whatever.
finished her practice run, but she did survive. So that's
Imagine
good.
the ego. Move over, Lindsay. Let somebody else do it.
Be some snowboarders, etc. But
Do we
Yep.
know what they're wearing?
Is Roots still a thing? That was the O2.
yeah, and then they did all
Olympics.
denim a couple of times. Classic American. I don't know. We'll see.
Isn't that technically Canadian?
The tuxedo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although
Imagine wearing those pants. Oh, my goodness.
All right, stay tuned. We'll have more Jake and Ben coming up next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.